Welcome to 5 minutes of unfiltered business inspiration. And today the theme is introducing yourself, explaining what you do. As an entrepreneur, sometimes that's a little bit hard. We don't have just a one-word answer. And I recently went to an event where there was a speaker. She had this incredible approach to explaining how you introduce yourself. And it's not just for entrepreneurs, really anyone can use this. But I find that for us specifically, when we're speaking to different audiences, being able to change the way that you speak about what you do and to get people excited about it is, of course, a really important skill. This approach is from a speaker I recently heard. Her name is Vika Victoria. She's the founder of Brave New Story. I'm just explaining it in my own words, and I really recommend that if it resonates afterwards, you look her up. She was recently at TED Vancouver, I believe. Again, her name is Vika, V-I-K-A, Victoria, founder of Brave New Story. So the way that she describes telling your story, if you think about a deck of cards, and if you imagine that you have a jack card, a queen card, a king card, and an ace card. Each of these is a different way of explaining what you do or your story based upon who you're interacting with. So to begin with, the jack is kind of the transactional one that you probably always use. For me, for example, I would say I'm a podcaster, I'm a podcast coach. That's something very transactional. You understand it immediately. It's probably the response I would give to someone if they said, I'm a marketer or I'm a life coach. It's just me responding back with that. Exactly, here was what I do. It may or may not capture someone's attention. This is usually the one that we use, but it can be more interesting. And so this is where the queen comes in, that she describes as being more creative. The queen is describing in a little bit more interesting detail in maybe a less literal way. So I would say, for example, I help women change the world with their voice. That immediately is going to get someone to ask, okay, how do you do that? And so if you think about too, how could you more creatively interpret what you do so that someone asks next, what do you mean? Instead of just walks away or moves on to the next topic. Then we have the king, and this is one that I am still workshopping. I'm still trying to figure out how to say, but this is kind of the more philosophical one. And the way that she describes it is a lot more powerful than I'm going to. But let's just say it's the one that goes deeper into really what are you creating behind your work. For me, it's something around reclaiming your voice, standing firm in your identity and announcing to the world who you are. That's what I help people guide them to do, because yes, they're creating a podcast or they're growing a podcast with me, or I'm sharing these episodes with you that are inspiring you. Deeper than that, though, is encouraging you to get your authentic voice out there. That is the philosophical one, which again, I'm still working on. And then the ace, I think, is more of an interesting one if you're having a casual conversation to get to know someone a little bit. This was an interesting one because she left it for the very end of the talk, and she had us introduce ourselves to the person next to us, something that's always a bit nerve-wracking for me, and explain, according to the ACE framework, what we do. And this is, who are you, or who were you, either way you want to frame it, before the world told you what you should be. I was really caught off guard when she said this. I didn't really know what to say. I had 5 seconds to introduce myself to the woman sitting next to me. And so I just said, oh, I'm Sade. I'm a singer. Is completely not true. I have never sung on stage. I always wanted to, but I never had the voice. In other words, the whole world, my sister, many people told me from a very young age that I could not be a singer because I did not have the talent. Now, a little background on this is that I recently spoke with a voice coach because it is something I would like to do. I'm all for, it's never too late to learn. And she said, actually, you are a singer. You are doing it through your podcast. You're just singing in a different way. So the ace for you is who you are, who you would be before the world said it has to be one way. It might be absolutely true, or it could be kind of more how mine is, more figurative. But it's something to really explore, because the final thought I'll leave you with here, if you see that there's a big jump between the ace who you would have been before the world told you and what you're doing now, it might be something interesting to explore. So have a think what they would be for you, and remember to check out Vika Victoria, founder of Brave New Story. Now to finish, some of you might already know that this Wednesday, the 14th, I am running a podcast growth mini mastermind. And the reason why I mention this here now is that if you are someone who had the courage to get your voice out there, you started a podcast, but you are frustrated. You feel like it's not getting engagement, it's not getting downloads, people aren't actually converting, and you really want to share your voice, but you're getting so overwhelmed by all the work and none of the results. I really recommend that you join. There's a link in the show notes. It's also on her first 3 years. This is a mastermind that I'm hosting with top 0.5% podcaster Nicole Khalil. She is in the top 10 for self-improvement along with Mel Robbins. Together, we're going to share with you strategies that we wish we would have learned that are organic to grow your show, reclaim your voice, find your people, and it is only $7. So if you hear this message in time, sign up. You got a few days, or if you're listening to this a little late, it's the 14th, and I will see you in the next one.